Hello everyone! Thanks for joining me today. For the first timers, welcome and thank you so much for dropping by. My name is Jane. I'm a fragrance lover and in this channel we talk everything and anything about fragrances. Before I start, if you are a fragrance lover and would love to see more fragrance related content, please do consider hitting the subscribe button below. Check the bell icon to be notified of future videos. I highly appreciate your support as it also supports my visibility in this platform. The inspiration for today's video happened as I was arranging my perfumes for rotation. I'm putting out the freshies and sending the thicker, heavier vanilla scents to the back seat as it started to feel a lot warmer around here, especially in the daytime. It's March and we are marching on to the warmest months of the year, at least in our part of the globe. I found 10 Aquatic Ozonic fragrances in my collection that you might be interested to know about and possibly wear in the coming warmer summer months in your respective regions. I did not include any body mists in today's list as I feel like they're a genre on their own. I also left out citrus dominated fragrances, fresh fragrances, as I feel like they are a different kind of freshie altogether. So what are aquatic ozonic fragrances? So aquatic, ozonic, or marine are often used interchangeably, and this represents fragrances that are oceanic or sea reminiscent scents. These are scents that replicate the sea, its air, and the environment around it. It is also synonymous to fresh, airy scents like fresh breeze up in the mountains. This scent category gives the impression of sea breeze, crystalline waters, and supreme freshness. Synthetic notes like cologne are used to represent this experience in a fragrance. On the natural side, lily of the valley, lotus flowers, bamboo, cucumber, melon, watermelon, violet leaves. These are notes that are oftentimes used to produce this effect as well. So this scent genre typically are the non-screamers, the moderate projectors at best. A lot of them are also eau de toilettes. Being freshies, they don't wear that long. But we would tend to reapply them during the day, which we anyhow do during hot weather, hot summer days to freshen up. I have 5 designer and 5 niche aquatic ozonic fragrances to share with you today. A lot of these scents smell similar to each other because they also share some notes together. But I chose these particular bottles for their interesting elements, interesting facets or characters to them that set them apart from just being watery and fresh. These are mostly female targeted fragrances, 1 or 2 maybe unisex fragrances, but to you guys out there who may be watching this may give you some gift ideas for future references. So without further ado, let's dive into this water world of fragrances, pun intended there. First in this bunch is this pretty bottle right here, this eye-catching bottle. I would classify this as an aquatic woody fragrance. This is from Bvlgari, Omnia Crystalline. This was a creation by master perfumer Alberto Morillas, launched in 2005, and this has been out for quite some time. I'm sure a lot of us have seen this at some point in our lives in the department stores out there. So it comes in this iconic bottle. All of them in this range come in this iconic intertwining rings. So this was actually a recommendation by my good friend Leonella from the channel Lovely Leonella. I'll link her channel down below. This has bamboo and nashi pear, which gives this watery, juicy, almost citrusy freshness, combining with lotus flower, which we know is a very transparent smelling flower, giving this a sweet vibe, and then rounded up by guaiac wood, musk, and oak moss in the base, giving this a little depth and especially detectable in the dry down. This is very watery, very clean and comforting, very inoffensive and nothing in your face kind of fragrance. This is also quite long lasting on me, especially when oversprayed. I wore this recently to a job, not so recently, but fairly recently to a job interview, and you know what, I got in. That's why I ended up buying this bottle, because to me there is a sentimental value to this. I got in, and to me this is a lucky scent. So if you haven't checked this out, I recommend you do. I will also come up with a video on the whole Bvlgari Omnia range, so please stay tuned for that. This is, once again, Bvlgari Omnia Crystalline. Next one in this bunch falls under my aquatic and tea fragrances. This one is my only Guerlain in my collection at the moment. This is Guerlain Teazurra. I got this fragrance because Paulina Shar raves about this. This was also highly recommended by Judy Rose as well as Yana from Descented. Then I found out that this has been discontinued. So the minute I got a little bit of perfume fund, I went ahead and bought this. Still available at fragrancex.com, by the way. So what does this smell like? To me, simply put, this is an ice-cold, freshly brewed chamomile jasmine tea with a lemon slice in there. That's exactly what this smells like to me. This is very light, your airy-fairy kind of scent. It's like blowing air to your nose, if you know what I mean. There's a note in here called cologne. It's a synthetic note which gives this a light, airy, aqueous feel. You can actually douse yourself in this on a particularly hot day, and it will never be too much. There's an initial blast of citrus in the opening which paves the way for a more lingering floral tea scent. And then it becomes much more earthy and tea-like, especially in the dry down. So if you haven't checked this out, this is one from the Aquatic range from Guerlain. This is Teazurra. Falling under the aquatic fruity category, this is Dolce & Gabbana Anthology 3 Les Imperatrices. So my full bottle is on the way. Didn't really make it in time to film this video, but this is a 2009 composition by Natalie Lorison. She's one of my favorite perfumers for freshies. I believe the face of this campaign is Naomi Campbell, if I remember correctly. So what we have in here is watermelon, kiwi, cyclamen, essentially your fresh fruit compote. This is exactly what it smells like, your fresh fruit compote. The rhubarb in here gives it a little bit of tartness, and there's also pink pepper which gives this a very mild spicy kick. Overall, this is very juicy, very delicious scent. This is also quite linear. It's the same scent all throughout. This is well loved by so many people for all the right reasons. It lasts longer on my skin, about 4 to 5 hours when oversprayed. They are actually, or they came out actually with a more florally 2020 release by the same perfumer where they remove the jasmine and replace it with rose and peony. I think that smells particularly good as well. So this is available for a very good price at discount websites like Fragrance X, and I recommend you get your hands on this if you are a fan of fresh fruity fragrance. This isn't an aquatic ozonic fragrance list without the ever so popular Light Blue by Dolce & Gabbana. But what I have here is actually an aquatic tropical version of the original Light Blue, and this is called the Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Sun. They come up with flankers of the original, I think every year or every other year, I'm not so sure anymore. There is an Italian Says version and a couple more others. But I have to admit that this is actually my very first bottle of Dolce & Gabbana, despite Light Blue, the original, being ever so popular. The reason being because this is my mom's, the original one is my mom's signature scent, and I used to steal a few spritz since about 15 years back. My mom always owned a bottle as far as I can remember, but I was so happy when they came out with this particular limited edition summer 2019 release. And by the way, you can still get this everywhere. So this essentially is a coconut-infused flanker to the original Light Blue. You can still get the ozonic notes, the Granny Smith apples, and the grapefruit on top with a faint hint of citrus, just like the original. But there's frangipane, jasmine rose in the mid, as well as coconut as well, and vetiver mask, ambergris, as well as vanilla, surprise, in the base. So this is, to me, a very interesting take on the original. This is an airy aquatic fragrances, but having that warmth, rich, coconutty edge and that vanilla note. That vanilla note is very, very nice in the base, which makes this so different from the original. This also lasted a lot longer on my skin versus the original Eau de Toilette. So I obviously prefer this to the original, and I really love the dry down on this. This is vanilla. You can wear in high heat. This gives you laid back and holiday vibes. So if you are into coconut fragrances that's not too santany, may I say, with some vanilla but still light and airy, this may just be for you. Do check this out. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Sun. Next one is for my rose lovers out there. This one is my Aquatic Rose fragrance. One of my recent acquisition but has quickly become my favorite. This is from Trussardi and this is Delicate Rose. This is your transparent shampooy rose scent. This is very clean smelling for days that I want to smell like I just shampooed my hair the entire day. I grab for this. I think this is an underrated, very affordable gem. Great for the high heat, projects quite well, and stays for about a good 3 to 4 hours on my skin. The more popular one from Trussardi, I believe, is Donna. That one is an airy jasmine scent, but I think this fragrance deserves as much love as well. So to me, this is a white tee, ripped jeans kind of scent, very laid back. What I like about this scent is the transparent but rose dominant fragrance character of this particular scent. This one is very clean, fresh, not citrusy, not the soapy kind of clean scent that you want to try. You might want to try if you're quite tired of the usual smelling clean scents. This is perfect for daily casual wear, inoffensive, delicate, and quite girly, if I may say. So do check this out. Trussardi Delicate Rose for my niche lovers out there. So first up is something from Dior, and this I consider an aquatic white floral scent, and to me Dior is somewhere like a hybrid. This is between a designer and niche, Dior being a designer brand, and this one belonging to their private line of fragrances. So I think this is kind of a hybrid. So anyway, Dior Lucky, this to me is the epitome of fresh and watery white floral. Not the soapy white florals that we get sometimes, but this is just plain translucent and very watery. I have to say, I think this smells the wateriest among all the fragrances that I have. This is white floral scent from start to end, so you have to love your lily of the valley. There is an overdose of that in here, along with other white florals that I cannot really distinguish which. This is very transparent smelling, as I've said. Just look at the clear juice with a hint of green as demonstrated by this juice. This is really nothing too heavy. This is light yet very long lasting. I have to tell you, I wore this on a Sunday, sprayed about 4 sprays on my hair, and by Tuesday, before I wash my hair, I can still smell this on me. I was blown away by the longevity looking at the juice. This doesn't look like it's gonna last long, but it did. So this is a very daytime appropriate, meet the parents kind of scent. This is nothing offensive, just your light, fresh, and happy scent, but there's a mature edge to this, if that makes sense. So this is a compliment magnet as well. My husband loves this on me. I think generally guys like clean white florals on women. This is one of those. So this will make for a good bridal scent in my opinion, especially if you have white florals in your motif or white florals in your bouquet. Check this out in the Dior counters if this is something up your alley. So this is Lucky by Maison Christian Dior. Next one is a not too popular brand, and what I have here is a 10 ml sample, and this is from Floraiku, and I categorize this as my aquatic and powdery scent. This is a 2017 creation as part of their incense collection, and this is called My Shadow on the Wall. So if you do not know, Floraiku is a niche brand, a sister brand to Memo Paris, and the name of the brand is actually a combination of floral and haiku, and I think each scent comes with a haiku poem for my shadow on the wall, it has one. So the aesthetic of this brand is very, very Japanese inspired. It's very, very simple and Japanese. So there's violet leaf in here. Mimosa gives this very ozonic airy feel with a feathery floral facet. There's also some creamy sandalwood touch to this scent, almost like hand creamy to me. And this is such a pleasant and, may I say, very, very comforting scent. This dries down very powdery, and then it reminds me of baby skin. I don't know, it's the nicest, purest baby skin scent in the dry down. The bottles are really, really stunning, but I think they are a little bit too pricey for me. I'm keeping this sample, but I am not too sure about buying a full bottle yet. But this is a very pleasant scent as well. This is something that you might be interested in if you're into powdery scents. I suggest you give this a try. This is Floraiku, My Shadow on the Wall. Next up is one that I also have a small sample of. Of course, we cannot do this list without talking about Sailing Day from Maison Margiela. So this falls under my marine aquatic fragrances. So look at this color. Doesn't this remind you of the sea? This literally smells like sea breeze. My brother, smelling this for the first time, he's not really a fragrance fanatic, smelled this the other day and said, wow, this literally smells like sea breeze. So this is a very refreshing and very invigorating scent. You know how when you visit the beach in the daytime and you catch the clean sea air filling up your nose, and you catch a whiff of some floral vegetation growing nearby, mixing in with the smell of the sea. That's literally how this smells like. I really don't get the seaweedy, the salty, briny quality in these. I just get pure clean sea air. Again, this is nothing too heavy. I have though an issue with the longevity on this. I never really expected any of this scent to last longer, but it's really a bonus if it stays more than 30 minutes, because this one, it's gone after that. It's imperceptible to my nose forever. So I'm also on the fence about getting a full bottle of this, but this is really a quiet smelling scent, very placid, running water, sea breezy kind of scent. So if you're interested in those kinds of scent, this, you may want to get hold of this. This is Replica, Maison Margiela Replica Sailing Day. Next one is one of my favorite in the bunch, and it comes in this nice quirky little bottle. This is by Kilian Roses on Ice, and I categorize this as my aquatic and boozy scent. So this is a very cucumber dominant fragrance, especially in the opening and in the first 30 minutes of the life of this fragrance. You can smell the juiciness of the cucumber, including the skin, and I mean really the skin, which gives this opening a hint of greenness. The cucumber note here is very realistic. It doesn't smell synthetic at all, which is so amazing. The lime gives it a slight citrusy touch, which adds to its freshness. The juniper berries gives this that cold, almost very tangible kind of coldness, cold sparkling element that's really refreshing on the skin as well. There is a coolness to this perfume that's not minty at all. It's like you can smell the ice in this composition, which I find very interesting. I don't know how to explain that, how a fragrance can smell like ice. So this was after all supposed to mimic the smell of gin and tonic, which is typically drunk ice cold. So the rose in here unfolds later, and it's a fresh, transparent rose scent. This is, to me, a unisex kind of rose in my opinion. I think a guy who probably likes a little bit of cucumber can pull this off. This is one of the most long-lasting freshie that I know of. You really get what you pay for per ml of this fragrance. So this is the less popular of the two liquor scents that they came out with in 2020, but to me this is a super winner. I even picked this over Angel's Share despite the hype around that fragrance. That's actually saying a lot about this fragrance. So if you want a photorealistic cucumber with a rosy kick in there and the boozy quality, gin quality, you might want to check this out. This is Roses on Ice by Kilian. last but not the least is my, of course, citrusy aquatic fragrance. And what I have here is something from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and this is called Aqua Universalis. This is the Eau de Toilette version. I believe they also came out with a Forte, which is the Eau de Parfum concentration. So this has bergamot, Sicilian lemon, lily of the valley, sweet orange, and musky wood. So this is a very luminous, fresh, soapy, clean lily of the valley fragrance with bright, sharp citrus notes in the opening, which actually to me really totally disappears in the dry down, giving way to a light floral, very, very pleasant musk. This smells like fresh, crisp linen somehow. There's just a cozy, comforting feel to this fragrance. This is great as an after shower scent as well. On some occasions, I think this one smells like very clean skin, if you know what I mean. And I also see this as complementing any bath and body products that you use. So this is also one of the more pleasant smelling and watery fragrance that I have and have tried. And if this is up your alley, do check this out. This is from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, and this is Aqua Universalis. Okay, so that's it for today, guys. These are all my Aquatic Ozonic fragrances in my collection. Do you like Aquatic Ozonic fragrances? I think this is one fragrance genre that is really up my alley, given the heat and humidity of the Philippines. And this is also one of the fragrance genre that I can wear a lot in my line of work. If you must know, I am a healthcare professional, and at most we are not really allowed to wear fragrances. We are, but maybe not the very offensive, obtrusive, loud kind of fragrances for work-related events. And typically I gravitate towards these kinds of fragrances because I get a lot of wear from them. And if I get bored, I just, choose the different facets. If I like a little bit coconutty, maybe I'll get the Light Blue Sun. Rosy, I'll get the Trussardi Rose. A little boozy. But this one, I think I'll just wear for maybe some night out, lunch out kind of thing. Because this is really sparkly and luminous. And then, yeah, for really hot days at work, I tend to gravitate around these fragrances. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you got something of value. And if that were so, please leave me a comment down below what your favorite freshies are, what your favorite Aquatic Ozonic fragrances are. Is this something up your alley as well? So please don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to be notified of future videos, and thanks again for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, spread the fragrance love. Bye.